Hey guys, Coach Wheeler, Indiana Tech here. Going to do a video analysis. Haven't posted in a while, so I thought I would start putting some stuff up again. I've been getting some feedback on people wanting a little more, wanting to see a little more of what we do here at Tech. So I've got this is the conference finals for the women's for the WHAC conference. I've got two in the finals here, KP and Kayla. And I want to go into Kayla first, and she's in this position right over here. She's got the blonde hair. I'm going to move forward here and go through at full speed. Uh, the camera stays on KP, who's in the middle of the track, but there's some things I want to talk about Kayla before I get into KP. So there we go. There's the full speed. Um, so let's move this back here, and we're going to go slow, slow. So what I'm looking for here with Kayla is there's a couple different things that I want to talk about, and the first thing is going to be her initial pushes are a little. She's really good on her initial push. She's got great back elbow, which is what I'm looking for right there. See that back elbow? It's all the way back, which means she's getting a ton of force into that front pedal. She does a really good job of pushing into the second step before she starts to look for the hurdle. And another big back elbow going into the second step, pushing through. We're crossing in front just a little bit too much. So the movement is going to be side to side up and down the track. But we're also getting some really nice push here forward. Locates the hurdle, and we're still going side to side just a bit. And it seems to be on on her left side. She's crossing the right side, which is telling me that she's either got a shin or a hamstring issue that's forcing her to compensate for that and pushing a little harder on the opposite side. So that might be there might be an injury or a biomechanical issue going there. So, but there's a huge rotation there. Look at her shoulders, and she's in her chop step here, and her shoulders are already over rotated. So I want to keep everything even and square. Uh, so the big thing that I'm noticing here is as she's attacking the hurdle with her press and her wrap arm up, free side is a little far back than I would prefer. This is the free side here, this back angle, and then her wrap arm is here. Her wrap arm is too close to her body, and she does a really good job of sweeping the knee, but when it is too close to the body, then the trail leg starts to hurry as well. And see this flat angle here? I don't want this. I want that knee to drive higher into the armpit. So she's going to drive up, and she drives through instead of up. And that's because that wrap arm, saying that I like to tell my kids is we run with our hands on our feet. So when we are pushing through, anything that we do upper body wise directly affects what happens to us below. So as you can see here, she has got a really quick wrap arm, and that is forcing that trail leg to stay low or to drop rather than driving into the knee. Now when she comes down, she has force impact right here, right in this position here, and the knee should be driven a little farther. I want that gap between the knee and unfortunately this guy's heads are in the way, but between the two knees there. So, and then there's an over rotation again that we're seeing here, and I want to eliminate any of the over rotation. And I can kind of demonstrate what I'm talking about with this video. Really good knee heel angle to the hurdle, But man, that wrap arm is really close to her body, and watch how quickly she pulls it through, and that forces that knee to stay the trail leg to stay flat, and I want it to be at a little more aggressive knee angle into the armpit. It's not terrible, and it's very quick, and we want it to be quick, but if it's not congruent, if the upper body is not congruent with the lower body, it's just going to be off a little bit. And I want to make sure that we're eliminating any opportunities for that to be off. So, what I want to do right now is compare KP, who is a senior, and I think she ran 8:36 in this race. But watch KP when she attacks the hurdle. Now her wrap arm is further away from her body. The free side is messy right here. I don't want it this far away from her hip. I want it closer to her hip, actually more closer to the thigh. That'll eliminate any rotation. But look at her press in with the wrap arm away, and then watch her knee drive into the armpit. See how it rotates up like that? And that's what I want to have happen. Now let's go back over to Kayla, and she doesn't press quite as aggressively, and that wrap arm is closer to the body, so it's going to be quicker through, but it's so quick that it does not allow that trail leg to pull through on a bigger angle here. I want this to be open, and that bigger angle allows her to get more force into the track on touchdown off of the hurdle. And let's go back and watch KP now. So KP drives that knee up into the armpit. She is on touchdown here, and she's still got that knee up high. Now she's on touchdown, and this rotation that's happening with the knee on the trail leg side is bigger, and she gets a ton more force into the track, which is going to help her maintain her speed. And then the second thing I want you to notice about it is because she freezes that hand really close to, not back behind the hip, but at the hip, she has no rotation upper body wise. Her shoulders are the same level, or the same, they're still parallel with the hurdle, with the stick, and that's really what I want to have happen. She's got very little upper body rotation, and and again, this is very controversial, but when coaches talk about letting that hand go back behind the hip, even if the athlete is strong enough to hold those shoulders in place, they're utilizing so much strength in the intercostal and the abdominals that they're not able to pull that strength, as you see here with KP, into that push off of the hurdle. They have to maintain that rotation by being strong here, and when they're doing that, their body, the energy has to maintain and stay in that abdominal area. And what ends up happening is you're not able to use the energy that you would want to make within the hips and the glutes to push your hips forward. So as you can see there, KP is getting a ton more speed off of the hurdle. And again, we've got that arm that's rotating here with Kayla, and there's a rotation there, and that's slowing her speed down, because now she's coming up the track like this, and I want her to come up the track. I want her to come up the track straight up and down. So, and we'll go through Kayla again. Now the wrap arm's a little further away, but still she's not pressing as aggressively. This is the second hurdle. We're going to watch KP. KP's not overly aggressive on her press, but she holds it on top, and that gives her that ability to be able to rotate through on this knee shin angle, because she drives that knee forward and she holds her press off of the hurdle and then gets tall. Now she's a sprinter, and now she's attacking again. Wrap arm in, wrist at the hip, pulls down into the trail leg, and see that knee drive up into the armpit. Okay, and she's still, I mean, there are flaws here. I mean, she's dropping her hips off of the hurdle. She's not getting tall off of the hurdle and becoming a sprinter, which tells me that she's leaning forward a little bit. And again, let's just very quickly go back to Kayla. Watch her come through. That wrap arm is really short, pulls down quickly because it's so close to the body, and then that knee can't drive into the armpit, so she's not getting as much force off of that rotation of the trail leg here, and she's losing speed on that side. And again, look how close she is here and over rotated. So that's telling me that there's either I think she's probably got a sore shin or a sore hamstring when it comes to that. All right, so now that the camera is moving forward and holding on KP, you know, I want her to be tall here. It's almost like somebody takes you by your shoulders here and lifts you up in the air. That's what I want. I want her to be tall. That's what I mean by tall. Now, she's straight up and down here, which is fine, but the hips have dropped just a little bit, and I want her to be more of a sprinter here. She's pretty tall here. Good force impact under the hip, which is really nice. Great chop step. She brings that thing down, drives the knee, cast to the tibular aspect, which is the lower leg here. Very nice. Wrap arm up. Free side is at the hip. I would like it to be a little closer to the hip, but right there. I mean, it's not bad for government work. So she pulls down over the trail leg. Knee drives up into the trail leg. She's at touchdown here. She's still holding her press. So we've got ankle, knee, hip are almost in line, but her chest is right over the top of the foot, which she's getting maximum push off of there. And then when she rotates this leg forward, she's pushing harder into the track when she's got this split. This is the split I'm talking about, the knee split that comes through there. If you have a short wrap arm and you pull the leg through like Kayla does on the short side, what ends up happening is you're getting that foot down a little bit too quickly, and you're not getting push off of that off of the ground. See, we're still got a little bit of a drop of the hips there, and every time you drop the hips, you're raising the hurdle. Um, but KP's a pretty fast kid. Leaning forward just a little bit. I'd like her to get taller, but I think we're finishing here, and the natural reaction is to lean a few steps before. I mean, look at this girl here. She's leaning way too soon. She needs to sprint through the line, not lean to it. So, as you can see with this girl from Siena Heights, she's leaning forward, and all of her momentum, boom, goes into the track right here. That's a braking force. That's stopping her from being fast. So you have to be tall to run through the hurdle. And all the rest of the kids are pretty much doing the same at this point. So that's my video on Kayla and KP at our conference championship. I believe that KP won that race in 9:36, I think it was. Anyways, hope that helps you out. If you guys have any questions, just email me, click the link, hit the subscribe, and give me a thumbs up on this one, and then hopefully I can help you guys out if you have any questions. All right, thanks. Have a great day.